Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today's pick a card is on where is your career headed? And if it's not career, it can be your business, it can be your school, it can be what happens after graduation. Apply to what fits best for you. So why is this relevant? You guys know that I love to mix spirituality with business psychology or personal development or whatever. I love to bridge the two worlds and sort of fill in the gaps. Old school mystics and spiritualists have been teaching that your life is not about you. It's about the lives that you touch. It's about the lives that you influence. Well, guess what? Studies are showing that more and more people no longer want to trade their hours for money. They want to find meaning and purpose in the workplace. I know that sounds so cliche, and yes, I know that's not new, but it's been only crescendoing with this quarantine situation, right? And listen, not everyone can be in the position to afford to only look for meaning and purpose in life. You could be in an actual situation where you have to trade hours for money, and that's just a reality of it, and that's okay. I'm also not saying that meaning and purpose has to be titanic. It doesn't have to be you like saving lives. You can be working at a kissing booth, and if you find meaning in that, awesome, good for you. It's about what fulfills you and your soul. So as you pick your cards today and listen to the reading, try to listen for what message really jumps out at you as advice to apply into your own life so that you can be on the path to really finding work that is meaningful to you. Because, I don't like to tell you what's going to happen. I like to guide people on how they can get there. I feel like that's kind of the major point of this tarot stuff. Like, people think it's about the future. It's rarely about the future. I paint the possibility. How you get there is totally up to you, but I like to provide a little bit of assistance in how you get there. Also, if what I said earlier about what old-time mystics, sages, and spiritualists teach and how that apply it to our personal lives, if that part stood out to you, you might want to check out the 21 Days of Major Arcana. The July enrollment is now open. It's going to start on July 10th. The June one is still in session, but it's almost done. And let me tell you, it was amazing. It was really fun. The program is designed to trigger you. And while that sounds scary, healing doesn't come for free. You gotta pay some price. This program is designed to really teach you the basics of all the personal development, spiritual modalities. I like to think of myself as like a personal development / spiritual tools like curator. It's 3 to 4 weeks long. It's designed to walk you through numerology, astrology, tarot, how to manage your brain chemistry. Maybe not super duper in depth, but dangerous enough to gain mastery over whatever life events you go through. So if you are interested, the link is in the description below to register. And one of the participants, Caitlin, was super generous enough to write me how she felt about the program. She said, "It helped me really jumpstart my inner work. It helped me spiritually and mentally to be able to write down my feelings, to really get to know the major arcana and how it relates to my life. It also gave me something to look forward to every week. I would recommend it to my spiritually inclined friends and have been bragging about you and this program for weeks now. Please let me know if you're going to do another workshop. I'll be the first to sign up." There's other feedbacks that other people have given, which I'm gonna post on Instagram, and it's gonna trickle down later on. I can't just read it all right now. I don't wanna spoil anything. So if that interests you, go check it out, grab a seat. All right, so now without further ado, go pick your cards and I will see you at your pile. As usual, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe, like, comment. If you hear anything during this reading that really sticks out to you, definitely drop a comment below. That always helps me a lot. I read through every single comment. Trust me, I do. Like every word, even those like super long paragraph ones, I do read them. And yes, sometimes I get very Okay, let's see where your career / business / school is headed. Also, that girl is just out of control. Okay, so we get the Knight of Swords reversed, 8 of Wands upright, 4 of Swords upright, the Tower, King of Cups reversed, 6 of Swords reversed, Ace of Swords reversed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The Judgment upright, Justice upright, 7 of Pentacles reversed, the World reversed. I'm already getting a very clear picture. 9 of Cups reversed, the King of Wands reversed, not upright, 10 of Cups reversed. Okay, and we're gonna save the best for the last, the major arcana cards. Not major arcana, pardon me. Archetype cards. Okay, so. Well, immediately what I'm getting is that whatever you chose has given you a lot of anxiety. You've really felt like you have to kind of put yourself in a box or compromise when you were picking this route professionally or academically, maybe even business-wise. You were like, you know what, it's going to pay the bill, so I'm going to do this for now, but it's not really my true calling, but you know what, I'm good at it. Like, I just pick up, I don't want to say excuses, but kind of convenient excuses. It's how it started out, and I have no doubt that you're really good at it, but that is kind of what I get here. I would not be surprised if you do something to do with law or you do something that has to do with restoring balance in our society or standing up for something or fighting for justice and equality. I mean, that comes kind of like as a theme here. You come up as a very diplomatic person, so clearly you're very good at what you do, and your peers and your coworkers respect you, and they think you're very good with words, good with putting out the fire, so to speak. I feel that you have been introspective and thinking a lot about whether or not you should uproot and move to a different state, maybe go somewhere warmer. I feel that this has been kind of weighing on you heavily because not only do you want to make more money, but I don't actually think that, vocation aside, I don't really think that you're happy with where you're physically at. And let me tell you, that has a huge effect on the happiness of your job too. So, I mean, studies show that like the closer you live to your job, the happier you are. But the problem is, who cares if the place that you are at inherently you don't like? Like, who cares how close you are to your job if you just don't like the city that you're in, you know? So I do see you kind of contemplating, specifically the part of the world that comes to my mind is like West Coast. So this could mean that you're already in the West Coast or you're not in the West Coast and you want to go there. I feel that you will shift your career. It's almost inevitable. We get the Tower card here, which means things falling apart, sort of everything as you had known, and then dramatic completion. Not dramatic completion, but it's a completion, like closing of a chapter, beginning of a new one. And I would not be surprised if, and don't freak out, but I would not be surprised if you get laid off or fired or at the very bare minimum quit. And the Tower energy is all about, it's shocking and scary in the moment, but literally within a day or two, you're going to be like, that was like the best thing ever. That's kind of how the Tower energy works. And the World card is all about successful completion and travel. So I see that you have been able to skate by on your talent and your skills, but not the passion. I feel like you were doing things that were appropriate or what your parents would approve or maybe what the society would approve, but realizing like, it wasn't really making you happy. So you're gonna have this Tower moment. I actually feel like you're going through it right now. If not, you're about to go through it. And I see you making some big choices to ultimately make that shift and make that jump. So then what's coming up is very exciting. I feel that you are about to invite a lot of creativity into your life. I see a literal creative individual coming in. I get King of Cups. And this man is, or woman, could be a woman too. This person's very creative. This person is very artistic. This person is able to really sort of make your dreams come true, like give you an opportunity that you could only dream of, or introduce you to people that normally you would not have access to, but here, like this person can, which is incredible. So, and after that, I also get a wish fulfilled. So keep your eyes peeled and ears open for an individual who is very generous and nurturing and wants to mentor you, and wants to grant you this wish. What this also means at the same time is that you have to be really aware of what it is you actually want to do and what actually makes you feel good to do, so that when someone asks you, hey, have you thought about doing X? You don't go, well, let me think about it. You have an answer right away. Right? I also get Six of Swords reversed with a King of Wands. So this is another set of opportunities coming in where I feel that there could be a chance where you can just kind of like move on to something similar as to what you were doing before. I feel like basically you'll be at a crossroad, but like a good crossroad, like a fork in the road where you can go down an untraveled path, but it's like sort of exciting, but you just don't know what's going to happen. And then the other path where like, yeah, you know what's going to happen, which is this. It doesn't like as ignite your soul, but you're like, you know what, it's tried and true. I kind of know what to expect. Oh, and it pays more than my previous job. Okay, well, why not? And the person who will extend you this offer is going to be very well spoken and very philosophical and wise, and they're going to spin it in a way that makes you think they'll be different this time. And the Six of Swords is really saying just be careful, because you don't want to go back into the same pattern and old habits. So that's what this is really saying. And then we get the Ace of Swords reversed, clarified by the Ten of Cups, which is beautiful. Well, sort of, but let me explain. This means that you will end up in a place where you'll be very fulfilled and happy in the long run. Really, I mean, this is like home run almost. I think you have to work for it, though, is the thing. Ace of Swords means stress and anxiety. So what this tells me is that like ultimately you'll end up where you want to be and need to be, but you might just have to put in a lot of work, whether it is networking, researching, a lot of soul searching in terms of what you really want to do. I actually feel that you will step away from this legality, you know, like diplomatic, like sort of political type job, maybe office job situation, into something that gives you more creative expression and freedom, even if it pays less, and even if it might even be more work because you get the Ace of Swords. But it's gonna make you emotionally happy. The big theme here is moving away from something that maybe society calls successful but doesn't fulfill you deep down. This is the really the arc and the shift here, and what you'll be met with is some paths to choose from, like temptations. Like do you take the tried and proven route, which is going to be always safe? But you know, I am not a fan of safe stuff, so don't listen to me. You have to gauge your own risk appetite. But looking at this, I feel that the outcome is in your favor should you choose to do the inner work and really put in the work to invite, you know, like this King of Cups energy into your life. I always say, like, you know, we're entering Age of Aquarius. We're actually in the Age of Aquarius already, and opportunities don't come up like they used to. Before, it was about like resumes and interviewing and networking. It was a very like 3D density. Like you had to like cut through so much, or not cut through, you have to go through so much bullshit to like land on a job. A lot of phone calls, recruiters, headhunters. Now it's like you could be picked up by anybody just because they saw one of your posts on Instagram, you know? So stay open. You just never know how something's gonna come across. Okay, and now let's look at your archetype cards to see where, to see what your career personality is or what your career archetype is. This is super fun. You guys know that I love my archetype cards. Okay, so I think I said the word mentor earlier. I forget in what context I said it, but you probably remember. But I got the mentor card. Chills. Absolute chill. So immediately what comes to me is that you would probably be a very great mentor one day. There's people that you could, you know, uplift. There's people that you can coach and literally mentor because you have been through what they're about to go through or what they will go through. I talk about this a lot in my personal readings and my private practice. I tell people a lot, like, forget me for a second. The number one way to get to where you want to be in life is to pick a mentor who has been through what you've been through. And also when you're going through shit in life, like trials and tribulations, just know that that could be happening to you so that one day you could help somebody who's in your spot, you know? So right now, actively seek out mentors who are doing what you want to do. Also, keep in mind that you have this quality in you. So weather the storm, because once you're out of it, you'll be able to affect so many lives. This is very interesting. The other archetype you got was the sustainer. This speaks volumes in terms of how it connects to your tarot. Like, you're trying really hard to maintain the status quo. You're still trying to maintain the old ways of being and thinking like, you know what, if I just like stick another week or a month here, it just might not be that bad. I might get used to it. Or like, you know, my coworkers might change. Or the sustainer also means, in addition to status quo, the sustainer also means you're the one that's always trying to keep stuff together and balance for everybody else. That actually speaks to the justice. Remember how I told you, like, you're like the peacemaker and the very diplomatic person? You could be good at it. You may not necessarily like it, but you're good at it. The sustainer means like, hey, you're getting really tired. You don't have to be the one sustaining everything all the time. You know, just like the mentor, there's two meanings in each card. But the sustainer is clearly saying, move away from the status quo, even if it's tempting. The other thing is stop being the person that does everything. You know, you work in a team for a reason, even if it's a family, even if it's family business. So just be mindful that you're not the one doing all the work. So I hope this resonated. Please let me know what you think. I would love to hear from you. And if you are interested in any of these cards, they're linked in the description below, so go check it out. And of course, as usual, if you're interested in a deeper dive to do a personal reading, my information is linked in the description below, so go check it out. It was a great pleasure reading for you. I hope to see you at the next video. Hey Pile 2, are you ready for your reading and see where your career is headed? Okay, so as you guys know, I don't know these cards until I start shooting, so it's super live. Okay. Queen of Pentacles reversed, the World reversed, Knight of Swords reversed, Three of Wands reversed, Five of Swords upright, Eight of Pentacles upright, Two of Pentacles upright. Okay, wow. This is it's specific. It's a very specific reading, and yet and at the same time a very intense reading. Seven of Swords reversed, Three of Swords reversed. Eight of Wands reversed, Page of Swords upright, Queen of Wands upright, Three of Wands reversed, and then Chariot. Okay, so the majority of you watching this will probably be a student or thinking about academia, or there's a direct relationship with you and school right now. I'm just going to say it. I understand that might be ruling out a large chunk of my viewers, but we get the education card here, so I just have to call it out. And I'm saving the best for the last, leaving the archetype cards towards the end. So let's see. King of Swords. Downloading information. Okay. Boom, got it. There's a lot of struggle here. The ending is fantastic, but the road to success, there's a lot of struggle. So let's start with the easiest part, which is you were studying something out of necessity / out of a deep responsibility to be an adult, or maybe you were pressured to do the mature thing. Maybe you study finance or business or law, maybe you were a doctor, trying to be a doctor, nurse, things like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe you do like it. I feel that right now you're trying to complete those things, trying to wrap those things up, finish those things. But Queen of Pentacles is someone who has her shit together, and is very responsible. So you are probably someone who's very much like on top of your stuff. And if not, that really makes you like anxious. And especially with this quarantine and the economic climate and graduations either being stalled or not being able to happen live, I feel like you're just very not pleased with the way things happen, just like upturned in your life as it relates to just regular schedules and school stuff and the way you thought things would pan out. I get, though, that you will be successfully completing whatever chapter you are currently completing, whether that means graduation or maybe you're applying to grad school, whatever it is. I see a big pivot or transition that is going to happen. I see one chapter closing, new chapter beginning, clarified by Three of Swords. So something about this change is bittersweet for you. It's not like a moment of victory. It doesn't feel like that. It feels very much like... I pick up sadness, and I don't know why. It's something to be celebrated, but you don't necessarily feel great about it. It just could be the fact that, for example, it goes back to the graduation thing. Like, maybe you didn't think that you would graduate like this. Maybe you didn't think that you'd be online graduating. Maybe you thought that you could be able to walk the podium, but you can't, and it's just kind of making you upset. it's something along those lines where it's like an ending but a bittersweet and not really going the way you thought it would, is kind of what I get here. I also get King of Swords reversed, clarified by the Seven of Wands reversed. Very interesting. Pardon me, Eight of Wands reversed. I feel that you will come in contact with people who could help you navigate what's next. I specifically see a very intelligent, sharp, almost like a business person trying to help you out. What's very interesting in your case is that this is a very, okay, so what's coming to me immediately is that you were sort of itching to get into the real world. You were itching to leave the academic slash this incubator environment, and please, like, use it to interpret it how it applies to you, because I know that not everyone who's watching is a student. But so whatever your version of the incubator is, the training period is, you were itching to get out of that. It could have even been an internship, and get into something more serious and more businessy. I just feel like what you were doing was not big enough, or it was just too small. Like, you're probably smart enough to have like skipped school if you could, right? So I feel that as soon as you start working and networking and meeting with people, you'll really surprise yourself, because you can talk at this level, whereas maybe the environment that you were at before, you were forced to talk at this level, or people were talking at this level and you're like, what the hell? I'm like way better and smarter than everybody else. So the minute you leave this environment, I feel like you'll be met with people who are finally at your caliber, whether it is through networking or interviewing or just chit-chatting somehow, some way. When I read this, I don't get someone who is necessarily artistic or creative. I get someone who is like they're about business. They get shit done. They're serious. Like, you're probably good with money. You're probably good with planning and strategizing. That's what immediately comes to me here. I feel that you'll move forward. I actually see you working in a small team. And I also feel like initially you might be like, whoa, who are these people? Like, because your tribe upgraded, you're gonna feel a little bit threatened, and you're gonna feel a little bit cutthroat and competitive. Maybe before you were always like the grade A student. Now you're gonna be like, wow, I've met my match. I kind of see you going through that, and you might already be going through that. But ultimately, I feel that you will sort of come out on the top and be very victorious. I see you switching from like this woman who like hustles to get to the top, woman or man who hustles to get to the top, to this woman who like is like in her power, more relaxed, more at peace, and is able to sort of like, take a chill pill because she knows she's like earned her notches. And Five of Swords means like navigating an issue, coming out victorious. And then after that, what I get is another okay. Oh my God, okay, let me keep going out and I'll summarize what I'm seeing. And then we get Eight of Pentacles and then Three of Wands. And then, so what this means is you're going to continue working in a team and continue investing in whatever work you're doing. You're probably going to get a new job is what I'm trying to get at. Like, as soon as you graduate and as soon as you transition, you're going to be thrown into this new competitive cutthroat atmosphere, make it to the top. And all you have to do from that point on is to continue to invest your energy to like cultivate your success and continue to grow. I see you working really hard at your craft, and I see you working more harmoniously in the team setting, which is huge. I just don't feel like you're gonna get into the line of work where you work solo. I see you working in a team for sure. And in the end, what you're gonna get is success. Cancer energy here represented, and then Two of Pentacles. So also Capricorn, but that's not relevant necessarily. So through hard work and through juggling and being able to balance a lot of things at once, you will get to the Chariot energy, which means success. Whew, this was actually a kind of an intense reading because there's a lot of this is a case of someone who picked what they know, what they're good at, what they can crush at, and they're just waiting for a platform to crush it. And you'll be given that platform is what I get here. And initially what's going to happen is just this is just a reality of working in a cutthroat environment, like egos being at play, egos being triggered. I see you sort of, like I said, like playing politics a little bit, being very competitive. But hey, depending on where you're at, maybe that's necessary, you know? And once you feel a bit better about where you stand within the team or where you stand within the company, I feel that you'll be able to relax a little bit. And ultimately, I actually see like you'll be on the fast track immediately. One thing you would have to really self-reflect on and think about is like, what influence or what impact am I having on others? Like, I just as a word of caution, like, don't be overtly aggressive or direct to a point where, you know, yeah, you could win, but in case you know, I'm a softie, so I like to not hurt people's feelings even at work. So I would try to shift your energy and perspective to be more, how can I be in the mindset of abundance and lift everybody up and not think in lack because I think that there's only one spot available for me. Just throwing that out there if you're open to taking a suggestion. But this is a very positive reading. Like, you strike me as someone who's going to crush it and come out on top and actually win. You're going to get that Chariot energy, which is huge. So let's look at your archetype cards. And this is basically going to illustrate your work personality. Knowing what it is could be very powerful and help you to channel it more in a positive way or dial down the negative aspects. Ooh, okay. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. So first we got detective. Remember how I said you're really good at what you do? Well, detectives are very good at sussing out information and very good at observing people. So you could be inherently naturally very good at what you do, like technically, like technical skills wise. But what I also get is that the other aspects of you that will help you succeed is your people reading abilities, which ties directly to the team dynamics that I was speaking about, which is huge. The other archetype, which I love, you got the flame. This literally means that you're going to be so fueled to just crush it. This also means passion. But passion not because of what's going on the outside, like inner passion, which makes sense because I can see that you're very self-motivated. Like, you have this inner desire to achieve and move forward and succeed in life. That's what flame is. You know, when somebody gets this, I tell them like, hey, you have this incredible like flame and fire and passion inside your belly that you should tap into, because once you fuel that fire, you'll be more motivated to move forward. So I hope that makes sense. Let me know what you think. I would love to hear in the comments if this resonates. I would also love to hear from you, like what you actually do, because this seems like a very intense, like badass career energy. So I would like to know what my viewers do. If you would like to do a follow-up reading, you can book a reading with me. There's a link down below in the description. Go check it out. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you at your next video. Hi, Pile 3. Are you ready for your career reading? Okay, let's take a look. So, as you guys know, I never know these cards. They're super live. So we get 3 of Cups reversed, the Chariot upright, the Death reversed, 2 of Swords upright, the Lovers reversed, the Emperor reversed, and Ace of Pentacles upright. I get Scorpio, Gemini, and Aries energy here. So Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, but doesn't have to be. And then we get Ace of Swords reversed, Queen of Pentacles reversed, Queen of Cups reversed, Tower upright, and then the Devil reversed, the Devil upright, 10 of Wands reversed, and then 6 of Pentacles upright. I also get Capricorn energy here. Scorpio comes out again. All right, and I'm saving the best for the last, which is your archetype cards. Okay, so this is a very specific reading. Right off the bat, I get that you just got out of something heartbreaking, a relationship or a friendship, something or someone close to your heart that left you devastated. I know this is a career reading, but I always tell my clients in my private practice, like in tarot and any kind of reading, things can come up that is unrelated to that specific thing we're talking about, and that's because energy doesn't have boundaries. Our love life affects our career life affects our personal life. It's like a merry-go-round. So there's really no energetic boundaries, but I do see that you are healing from something that had just happened in your personal life. So there's that and the backdrop. but you know what? You're gonna come around like a boomerang. I see success. I also get Cancer energy here. I get success, a woman who's made it. Could also be a man. I see a brand new beginning for you. It's interesting. Your energy is gonna shift from someone who has like this executive CEO type, like, you know, like tough cookie vibe, to like more soft, feminine, creative energy, as you like pivot and enter something new. And yes, I did say pivot. I do feel like your career chapter will take on a fresh note, or a fresh start. I feel that initially it's going to be a little bit hard because you're going to find yourself, I feel like you're going to switch careers. I see a complete change, a complete overhaul, and it's going to be met with a lot of workload. I see you working really hard and kind of being stressed out and anxious, even if you don't have to be. I feel that you're going into something like Wall Street or tech, you know, something that's a big moneymaker. We get the technology card here with the Lovers, and Capricorn card here, which means big money. Now, use your imagination. This doesn't have to be Silicon Valley. This doesn't have to be Wall Street. But it's anything that applies to you in terms of something that makes a lot of money, an industry or a job that allows you to make money using technology and, you know, allows you to be lucrative. So I could read this and even think that maybe you're a Bitcoin trader, you know, or that maybe your job is to day trade. Maybe you are in an e-com business. You see what I mean? Like something that combines technology with money, you'd be very good at. I see you pivoting into that. And if you're not thinking about that yet, come back later and let me know what happens, because I do a lot of career readings where people are like, really? Really? You think I'll be doing that? Really? And, you know, if they listen to their gut, they do. That it does end up happening. But that's the key. You have to listen to your gut and put in the work. So let me know if this happens down the line. But I'm not really sure entirely what you do right now. I mean, this is a general reading, but whatever it is you're doing, it's going to be gone. It's going to completely change. And you're going to switch into this, which is amazing. And I do think that there is some work, like upfront work you have to do that's going to cause you a little bit of stress and anxiety. But like, I mean, boo, there's a price for everything, right? The good news is you'll get there to the other side. So yeah, I see you once again, like working really hard towards your long-term goals. Once you get a hang and groove, you know what just came to me? I don't think this is your own business. But I do think it feels very entrepreneurial. It's not your own business, but it feels very entrepreneurial because of the techie component to it. So it could even be a startup, or you could be joining someone else's small business. Like it's something like that. But anyway, I see that you will work really hard to gain, not gain, but like move up the ranks, which is incredible. This is the CEO type. And I feel that you'll be given an assignment where you have to prove yourself, a long-term project, and it's going to pay off. 10 of Wands, paying off. Emperor, this guy is a winner. So I feel like you'll get there and come out on top, which is incredible. I also get 6 of Cups reversed, clarified by Ace of Pentacles. This is so random, but I feel like you might be able to meet somebody through work. I always tell people, don't shit where you work, but it is a possibility for you. Alternatively, what this could mean is that you will really fall in love with your work to a point where it feels like you're having a love affair with your job. You know, I just feel like you'll be met with so many new opportunities once you enter this new space, and it's kind of cool. Another thing that could happen is that you get a new job yet again at the end of, so you will do something new soon, and then at the end of that, after it's had its run, you might be poached or asked to join somewhere else. I just see like a new beginning like almost twice, if that makes sense. Ace of Pentacles also does mean short trips and travel sometimes though. So after a lot of hard work, you might also just realize like, I want to take some time for my family and, you know, take a long vacation. Or I just feel like there's a reward coming your way even after putting in a lot of work. So that's a good thing. It gives you something to look forward to so that you're not working all the time. Out of the 3 piles, I would say this is the most entrepreneurial pile, even if I don't feel like you're going to be a traditional entrepreneur. Like, I feel that you are like strategizing, you know, planning your comeback, trying to pivot, trying to see what you're good at, and then go do it like for someone else, and then eventually like take the money and then like go like enjoy like a vacation or something. That's kind of like what I get here, which is really, really cool. Now let's look at your archetype cards. Okay, this is cool. You got the Eternal Child. So the Eternal Child means remember what your childhood dreams were. Remember what your childhood dreams were. Remember what made you happy. Remember when you thought everything was possible. Tap into that energy. It's kind of funny because you do, even if you're not like a traditional artist, because of the Lovers reverse and the Capricorn combined, I see you creating wealth. Like I see you creating stuff out of thin air. And that is very much like this energy, like believing that everything is possible, anything is possible, and that you can like really make stuff happen, you know, create stuff. So just know that your creative energies will never run out. Keep tapping into it because you have this archetype in you as like a business person and as like a creator. And your other archetype that you got, the other archetype that you got was God, or is God, also a creator type. Recognizing the eternal force within yourself. It also means compassion and benevolence. This is important. What can you create that could actually help people, that could really contribute to the progression of humanity? Whoever is reading this, or whoever picked this pile, you're a force of nature. Or is that the right phrase? Whoever's reading this, whoever picked this pile, is a force to be reckoned with. I feel like you're the kind of person who like when you speak, it's like you create a momentum, people will listen and act. So take advantage of that and don't abuse it. Don't create stuff that, you know, is against your values. So you have this tremendous ability to like take your ideas and execute on it and make it a reality. So what can you do? What can you do with that ability that can benefit the whole? That will be your ultimate conundrum. And that's a good conundrum to have. Yeah, so I hope this resonated. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. This was a very, very fascinating reading. So yeah, if you would like to go in deeper, because this is a general read, definitely feel free to follow up with me in the description below. There's a link to where you can find me in a private reading. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this pick a card, and I hope to see you at your next video. Thank you.